good morning students. So in this sessions we'll be learning about to develop a full section plan and elevation of a three-phase core type transformer. So we already discussed how to develop full section plan and elevation of a three-phase core type transformer. So what is the different things we are going to learn in this session? The different is what in the previous sessions what we discussed, the datas are given directly. It means for section plan what we required is I required the type of cross section and then circumcircle dia, LV inner and then outer dia, HV inner and then outer dia. And for elevations you required the total height of the transformer, height of the yoke, height of the window and then the height of the winding. So all these parameters are given directly in the previous problem what we discussed. But now I come with a new example where all the datas we should calculate. We should calculate all the data to draw a sectional plan and then elevation. So let us go with the problem. I have a 1000 kVA 6000 bar 433 volts 50 Hz 3-phase core type oil immersed transformer as the following data. Core dimensions are shown in figure. So these two figures are given actually. It means from this figure we can easily say that it is a 3-step core and the steps are given here. No need to calculate the steps. The steps are given. It is 250, 210, 170 horizontally and vertically it is 222, 185, 126. This is what the step size given and the circumcircle dia is not given here. We should calculate. So I will tell you how to calculate the circumcircle dia. And this is what your magnetic circuit, a core circuit. The width of the yoke you can see here. Width of the limb is 250 and width of the window is 220. Again width of all the limbs are equal because it's the 3-phase core type and the height of the window is 660 and then this height of the yoke it is 290, right? So these two details are given. One is the step sizes and another one is the dimensions of core. It is given and along with that the winding details are given. Again this table it is a given data here. So the first column represent winding details, so LV winding, and the third column represents an HV winding. So here you can go through this. So bare conductor, we will be having 12 bare conductor. In this the size of each is 14.5 bar 4. This is what the dimension of each bare conductor. Okay, and coming to the HV winding, we will be having only one bare conductor, so the dimension is what 11.5 by 1.5. All are in mm. And coming to the insulated conductor, the dimension is 60 bar 13.5, whereas for HV it is 12 bar 2. Insulation type it is off lap type for both LV and then HV. Turns per phase, so how many turns per phase? Here in LV we will be having 18 turns and in HV we are having 492. Types of the winding, the LV is spiral and then HV is disc. Coils per limb, so how many coils you are having per limb? So only one for LV and for HV we will be having 24 plus 4 plus 4 equals 36. It means we will be having 36 coils per limb in HV and turns per coil it is 18. So per coil consists of 18 turns in LV and coming to the HV 14 turns, 13 turns, 12 turns. It means okay, turns per layer, it means the LV windings in each layer it will be having 9 turns. So in this case 1 1 1 and layers per coil will be having 2 layers in LV and here will be having 14 13 12 layers for, and there is an insulation between the layers. For example here we will be having 2 layers, so the insulation between the layers is what 2 cross 2 mm press board and here we are having some paper strip and insulation between coils also we are having. So this is what the winding details is given, right? So next the insulation between core and LV winding is given, that is 3 cross 0.8 mm thick wraps of press board. Between LV and then HV winding 3 mm of insulation, which is a thick backlised paper cylinder. These are the given data here. So one you observe here, you don't have an LV inner and then outer dia. You don't know what is the HV inner and then outer dia, and as well as that you don't know what is the height of the winding, right? So it means, so in this problem before going to draw I need to calculate all this. Let us discuss how to calculate all these parameters. Okay, now these are the given details. So this is what the step sizes which are given and this is the magnetic circuit, it is also given, and along with that the winding details are given with, and then insulation between core and then LV winding is also given, right? So with this, now this is what your section plan. So in this section plan, this is the circumcircle dia, okay, this is what your circumcircle dia, and this is LV inner, okay, and this is what your LV outer circle, and HV inner and then HV outer. So if you want to draw the sectional plan of this given transformer, you should know what is the dia of LV inner, LV outer, HV inner and then HV outer. And you can also see that here the step sizes are given, the circumcircle dia is not given, so it means I need to calculate, and the given cross section, it is a 3-stepped, it is a 3-stepped. So if it is a 3-step, so as we know, the larger stamping, right, the larger stamping size is equals to 0.9 of circumcircle dia, right, 0.9 times of circumcircle dia. So the largest stamping with respect, I will go with respect to horizontal, so the largest stamping is nothing but 250, they have given the step size. So here largest stamping is 250 equals 0.9 into a circumcircle dia. What I want to calculate is circumcircle dia, so circumcircle dia equals 250 divided by 277.8, so let me round it off to 280 mm. It means the circumcircle dia is equals to 280 mm. Now I have calculated this. So now I need to calculate LV inner dia, LV outer dia, HV inner dia and then HV outer dia. So as I already discussed, there will be some insulation between the core and then the LV winding. Clear? So what is that insulation? So here they have given, you can see here, insulation between core and LV winding is 3 into 0.8 mm. It means 2.4 mm of insulation between the core and then LV winding. So in this section plan, this is the circumcircle, and the gap between these two, this is LV inner and then the circumcircle dia, this is nothing but an insulation gap. So the thickness of this is what, 2.4 mm. So again in the other side, this is what, 2.4 mm. So it means LV inner circle diameter, right, is equals to what, as circumcircle dia, right, plus insulation of 2.4 on the left side and as well as insulation of 2.4 mm on the right side. It means it is circumcircle dia, we have already calculated, 280 plus 2.4 plus 2.4, this is nothing but your 284.8. so let me take it into 285 mm. Clear? So it means the dia of LV inner is 285 mm. Now I have already calculated. So this is the insulation between the core and then the LV winding, core and then the LV winding. So if you want to calculate this outer diameter of this LV winding, you should know what is the thickness. So first what I want to find out is, I want to find out the thickness of the LV winding. So excuse me. So in order to find out the thickness of the LV winding, so to find the thickness of the LV winding, let me go with this winding details. So I will be mainly concentrating on LV now. Okay. So first let me concentrate on LV, not on HV, right? So LV winding. So we already calculated what is the LV inner circle dia, okay, and I need to calculate outer circle. So for that I need to find out the thickness. So let us go with the given details. So the bare conductor, how many bare conductors we have in LV? We'll be having 12 bare conductors, and the dimensions of each bare conductor, this is what? This is the bare conductor. Okay, the dimension is given, the height of this bare conductor is 14.5 mm and the width of this is 4 mm. Like this I will be having 12 bare conductors. And let us go with an insulated conductor. What is the dimension of the insulated conductor? So the dimension of the insulated conductor is nothing but 60 mm is the height, and then 13.5 mm is the width. Okay, so this is your bare conductor, and this is the insulated conductor, or else we can also call it as this is one turn. Okay, 13.5 mm width, and then the height is 60 mm. So how many bare conductors you can place horizontally in this dimension? So the width of each bare conductor is 4 mm. Clear? 4 mm. So how many bare conductors I can able to place horizontally here, row wise? I can place 1, 2, and then 3 bare conductors. Clear? So 4 plus 4 plus 4, 12 mm. I cannot place one more. If I place one more, it will become 12 plus 4, 16. But the accommodated space is only 13.5 mm. What's the space I have? So it means there will be a gap between these bare conductors. Okay. So among this width, I can only place 3 bare conductors in the row wise. So what about in the column wise? So the width, the height of each bare conductor is 14.5. So how many I can place? So that is simple, 60 divided by 14.5. So it is 4.13. It means I can place 4 bare conductors vertically. Clear? So this is how 1, 3, and then 4. And we already discussed 3 bare conductors row wise, 4 bare conductors horizontal wise. Clear? So this is nothing but your one turn. Here they have given bare conductors are 12, and each having dimensions of 14.5 and then 4.5. Now here you can see the one turn consists of 12 bare conductors. Right? This is one turn. Right? So let us go further. How many turns you have in this LV winding? I will be having 18 turns. So like this, I will be having 18 turns. Clear? So how you are going to arrange the turns per coil? So in LV coil we will be having 18 turns, and how many layers are there? Turns per layers, sorry. For one layer there will be 9 turns. And how many layers we have per coil? 2. It means the LV windings are placed in 2 layers. This is the one layer and this is the another layer. It will be placed in 2 layers. Okay. And each layer will be consisting of 9 turns. Clear? For example, let me take, this is what your LV winding. LV windings are arranged in 2 layers. Okay, this is first layer, and this is what your second layer, and each layer consists of 9 turns. 9 turns means, so each turn dimension is 60 and then 13.5. So for example, this is one turn. Okay, this is one turn. Like that, how many turns you have per layer? You will be having 9 turns. So this is one turn, and 2, 3, like that you will be having 9 turns in one layer. This is the first layer. Likewise in the second layer also we will be having another 9 turns. This is 1, 2, 3, etc. up to 9. So you will be having, the first layer will be having 9 turns, in the second layer also will be having 9 turns, together will be having 18 turns. So if you want to find out what is the thickness of the LV winding, you should know what is the width of this. And if you want to calculate what is the height of the LV winding, you should calculate this height. Clear? This is nothing but height of the winding. This is nothing but the width of the winding. It means the thickness of the winding. So let us go with this. So this is nothing but your one turn. What is the dimension of one turn? It is, the width is 13.5. Clear? From here to here it is 13.5, and the height is nothing but your 60 mm. Right? And here there are one more detail. Insulation between layer is 2 cross 2 mm. insulation between layer is 2 cross 2 mm. It means if this is 1 turn, if this is 1 turn, this is the conductor, okay, this is 1 turn actually, so there will be an 2 mm of insulation around this, so this is the 1 turn. Here I will be having 2 mm of insulation, here I will be having 2 mm of insulation, here also I have 2 mm insulation, here also I will be having 2 mm insulation. So this is what 1 turn, and at the same time I will be placing another layer. This is the another turn. Here I will be having 2 mm, 2 and then 2. So what I want to do is I need to find out what is the width from here to here. If I find out what is the width from here to here, it is nothing but the thickness of the LV winding. Let us go with what is the width of the 1 ton. It is 13.5. How many turns you will be having in the LV coil? I will be having 2, 1 and then 2, right? So it means from here to here it is 13.5, from here to here it is 13.5. so just you add up all this, so 13.5 plus 13.5, 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, it is nothing but 8. So it is 35 mm. What is the thickness of this LV winding? It is 35 mm. Clear? It means from here to here it is 35 mm. Likewise, I need to calculate what is the height of this winding. Okay, height of this winding. To calculate the height of the winding, so the height of the turn is 60, we already calculated, and it is surrounded by 2 mm of insulation. Here also 2 from this turn, another 2 from this turn, 4, right? So height of the winding, like if you add up these things, you can able to calculate. If you add up all these things, you can able to calculate what is the height of the HV winding. In this section plan, what is the thickness of the LV winding? We already calculated. It is 35 mm. It means from here to here it is 35 mm. From LV inner to LV outer it is 35 mm. Clear? So it means LV outer circle dia equals LV inner. LV inner we already calculated, it is 285 plus 35 plus 35, 355 mm. So we have calculated the LV outer circle, it is 355 mm. Clear? So the next thing is what I need to find out the height of the LV coil, right? So how many turns you will be having? How many turns you will be having in one layer? I need to calculate from here to here. So how many turns you will be having? 9 turns, right? And height of each turn is 60, therefore 9 into 60 plus gap and insulation between the turns is 4 mm, right? 4. So 9 into 4. So that will become 576. So the height of the winding will become 576 mm. So we have already, now we calculated the LV inner dia and then the LV outer dia and then the height of the LV winding. Now I should go for HV inner, HV outer dia and along with that the height of the HV winding. To calculate HV inner circle, there will be some gap between LV and then LV outer and then HV inner. So in this gap there will be some insulation on LV outer and there will be some insulation in HV inner and there will be some a gap for cooling. Okay, so for this let me consider we'll be having LV coil outer insulation 3 mm. Likewise we'll be having HV inner insulation thickness, again it is 3 mm, and there will be some gap for oil circulation, let it be it is 9 mm. So together it will be 9 plus 3 plus 3, it will be 15 mm. It means the gap between the LV outer and then HV inner, it will be 15 mm. Clear? So 3 mm for outer insulation, 3 mm for HV inner insulation, and then for oil circulation will be having 9 mm. So this is what my assumption here. Okay, I'm approximately taking 3 mm, 3 mm and then 9 mm. Okay, so now here you can see the gap between these two, it will be 15 mm. Again in the other side, the gap between LV outer and then HV inner, it is 50 mm. So if you want to calculate HV inner, so this is nothing but LV outer plus 15 plus 15. Clear? So that is what I need to do. So we already calculated the LV outer circle, so I need to calculate HV inner dia. So for that, LV inner dia plus 15 plus 15. What is the LV inner dia? Sorry, LV outer dia it is. So what is the LV outer dia? It was 355 mm plus 15 plus 15. So it will be 385 mm. So it means the HV inner dia is equals to what? 385 mm along with insulation and then gap for oil circulation. Now let us go with the given details in order to find out the thickness of the HV winding. Okay, so here the bare conductor dimension is given, it is 11.5 and then 1.5, and then the insulated conductor is 12 bar 2. Let us go for this insulated conductor. This is the insulated conductor. Okay, this is the insulated conductor. As I already said, insulated conductor is nothing but 1 ton. So what is the dimension of this insulated conductor? The height is 12 and the width is 2. So how many bare conductors you can accommodate within this? So the bare conductor dimension is 11.5, the height is 11.5 and the width is 1.5. It means I can accommodate only one bare conductor within this. Clear? So I cannot have multiple bare conductors within this because of dimensions. So 1 ton is nothing but 12 height and then 2 is the width of 1 ton. Okay, and let us come for here. How many coils you will be having per limb? Coils per limb is equals to 36. So instead of directly giving 36, he has given 28 plus 4 plus 4. What did it mean? So let us go for next to find out that tons per coil will be having 14 tons. It means this winding, it is a disc type winding. HV winding is a disc type winding. So in this disc type, so 28 discs of 14 tons, 4 discs of 13 tons and another 4 discs of 12 tons. That is what this meaning. So 28 discs are having 14 tons, 4 disc is having 13 tons and then another 4 disc is having 12 tons. It means here, let me write down that number of disc is equals to 36. So among 36, as I already said, 28 disc of 14 tons, okay, plus 4 disc of 13 tons plus another 4 disc of 12 tons. This is what the number of disc. So let me write one disc here. This is 1 ton. So 1 ton, for example, this 28 disc. So let me write one disc here. So this is what your one disc. Okay, this is what one disc. So this disc should have either 14 tons or 13 tons or 12 tons. So let me consider this is one disc where it is having 14 tons. It means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it is consisting of 14 tons, right? And this is nothing but 1 ton. So then what is the width of this disc here? What is the width of this disc? I will be having 14 tons, right? And there is no gap between the tons. So what is the width of 1 ton? The width of 1 ton is 2. I will be having 14, right? So it means from here to here, it will be 14 tons into each width is 2. It is nothing but 28 mm. Clear? The width of one disc is 28 mm. So if I take another disc which is having 13 tons, so that will become 13 into 2, that will become 26 mm width. Clear? But we should always consider the disc which is having maximum number of tons. So this is what the maximum number of tons. how many layers you have in HV? You will be having only one layer. It means all the 36 coils are arranged in one layer. So let me write down that we'll be having only one layer. So this is one disc. Okay, this is one disc, and there will be some insulation here. Between this there will be 2 mm of insulation. Again, at the other side is also 2 mm of insulation, and there will be another disc. So for disc also we'll be having 2 mm insulation in all the sides. Clear? So from this side it is 2 plus 2. It is nothing but 4 mm of insulation between the disc. So again I will be having one more turn. So between these two I will be having 4 mm insulation. This is the first disc, second disc, third disc. Likewise I will be having 36 discs which are arranged vertically. Okay, now I want to find out what is the height of this. If I calculate what is the height from here to here, it is nothing but your height of the HV winding, right? So now height of the HV winding equals, we will be having 36 turns, and height of each turn is 12 mm, so 36 into 12, and in between that we will be having 4 mm insulation. Therefore plus 36 into 4, it will give us 576 mm. That is what the height of the HV winding. And the next is to calculate the outer dia of HV coil. So in order to calculate outer dia of HV coil, so H is equals to HV inner dia plus the thickness. The thickness is nothing but here the width of each disc is 28 mm. That is what we calculated here. 14 into 2 equals 28 mm, and 2 mm of insulation here and here. So together it will be 28 plus 2 plus 2. It will become 32 mm of insulation. So on both the side, that's why it is 32 plus 32. And we already calculated what the HV inner dia. It is 385 mm. So 385 plus 32 plus 32, so 449 mm. That is what HV outer dia. So from all these calculations we have calculated, okay, LV inner. So before that we calculated circumcircle dia, right? So the circumcircle dia we calculated, it is 280 mm, right? And after that we have calculated LV inner circle dia. It was 285 mm, and after that we have calculated LV outer. So LV outer, it was 355 mm, and later on we have calculated HV inner. Okay, so the HV inner, it was 385 mm, and later on HV outer, this is what, 449 mm, and we have calculated LV height of the LV winding, right? So the height of the LV winding was 576 mm, and you can also see height of the HV winding is also 576 mm, right? So this is what the data I required in order to draw a section plan and then elevation of a three-phase core type transformer. Now let us draw the section plan and elevation of this problem by using CAD. Okay, now this is what the LV winding, which we already discussed, one turn, and then the first layer and then the second layer. These are the details which are given in that winding table. Number of layers, 2 turns per layer, turns per coil. According to that we have arranged the turns here, and we have calculated the inner and outer dia of LV, and also the height of the LV winding. So this is what a disc type winding. So this is what your 1 turn with a dimension of 12 and then 2 mm, and this is what your 14 turns disc, and this is how we are going to arrange this 36 disc vertically. And we have calculated the height of the HV winding also along with the HV inner and then outer dia. And from this problem, this is what we have calculated. Height of the LV and then HV winding both are same, that is 576 mm. This is what we have calculated. Now we'll go for the next step. The next step is to draw a section plan and then elevation, full section plan and elevation of a three-phase core type transformer. So let us draw a circumcircle first, and I have set all the units in the millimeter, and the circumcircle dia, it is 280 mm, and it is a three steps, right? It is a three step, it is given here. It is a three step, and the step details is also given. And here you can notice one thing: the step horizontally and then vertically it is different, it is not equal. Horizontally, if the largest step is 250, vertically it will be 222. It means there will be a slight variation in the drawing procedure to write this three step core. So let me concentrate on the horizontal steps, that is 250, 210 and then 170. 250, 210 and then 170. So before that I need to draw an axis line which passes through the center of this circle. So this is what your axis line. So I will go with an offset. So for horizontal steppings, the first distance is nothing but 250 divided by 2, right? And the object will be the vertical axis, and let me locate on one side. I will be locating on this quadrant. Okay, this is 250, and again let us go for the offset, and the distance, it is the second is 210, right? So the distance will be 210 divided by 2, and the object will be the same object on the other side. Okay, and the third step, it is 170. Let me go with offset again, and the distance is 170 divided by 2, and again the object will be the vertical axis. Okay, this is with respect to vertical axis. Now let us go for with respect to an horizontal axis. Okay, from this horizontal axis, the distance of largest stamping 222, 185 and then 126. Clear? So let us go for 222. 222 divided by 2, and the reference will be the horizontal axis. Let me have this in one side. Okay, this is the first step, and the second step is 185. So the distance is 185 by 2, and the horizontal axis will be the object, and let me locate in this side. And the step 3 will be 126. 126 divided by 2, this. So I'm mainly concentrating on this quadrant here. So now let me go for trim, control A and then trim. This is what the step from here to here. Now we are ready with 3 steps in one quadrant. So let me select all these steps and go for mirroring. So for the mirroring option, first point will be the midpoint. So now you can see, again I am going for mirror by selecting both the quadrants. Okay, this is your 3-step core, and what we are writing is a sectional plan. So this should be covered with LV winding, right? So the LV inner dia we have calculated is 285. It is a diameter. Okay, 285 mm, and the LV outer dia, then HV inner and then HV outer. Inner is 385, HV outer is dia 449 mm. Right, so this is what your sectional plan of one limb in 3-phase core type transformer. Clear? And what we need to draw is full section plan and then full elevation, right? So let me convert these two into an axis line now. Okay, let me extend these two lines up to the last circle by using an command extend. I need to extend up to the last circle. Enter. Okay, now let me draw a reference axis. This is what your reference axis, and what is the height of the yoke? Here it is given here. The height of the yoke is 290 and the height of the window is 660 and then 290. That is what we should go for offset: 290, 660 and then 290. Okay, so let us go for offset. So offset distance is the yoke distance, it is 290 from here to this side. Okay, and then again go for offset. The distance is 660, that is the window height, and again the yoke. Okay, coming to the height of the window is 660 in this. So the height of the winding, is what, 576 mm, right? You should have an insulation between the core and then LV winding. So the height of the window is 660 minus height of the winding is 576. The difference will be 84. We should have an insulation as well as at the top and as well as at the bottom. Therefore 84 divided by 2, it means the thickness of the insulation is 42 mm. So therefore let us go for an offset, and 42 it will be the distance, and it should be located above this bottom yoke and below this upper yoke, right? Now let me write an vertical projections from all these points where the x-axis intersects the circle. Okay, vertical projections. Now we extend all the vertical projections up to the last line by using an extend command. So this is what the target. And here I have considered only the larger stampings. Okay, now I need to trim out in order to draw the elevation of a limb. So Control A and go for trim, and winding should be present within the window only, and this is what the insulations between winding and then the core, and again this is the insulation between the core and then the winding at the bottom side. Okay, this is what your one limb section plan and then elevation. So before going with copy and then paste, let me hatch this. Go for hatch. Use different patterns for LV and then HV. LV elevation. This portion is LV section plan. So this is for LV winding, and then HV. So this is what the complete sectional plan and then elevation of single limb. So since the given problem is a 3-phase and the center to center distance, so by using magnetic circuit you can easily find out the center to center distance is 250 plus 290. That is what the center to center distance. 250 is nothing but the width of the limb, and 290 is the width of the window. So together it is 540. That is what your center to center distance. Now Control A and then copy. The base point will be the center of this circles, and you copy at a distance of 540, 0. Right? So since it is a 3-phase, so the distance between one limb to another limb is 540. Again for the third limb it will be 1080. Right? Now let me close the path magnetic circuit at the top and as well as at the bottom, and also close the window. Now this is what your 3-phase core transformer, a full section plan and then full elevation. And the next step is to show the dimensions. You need to show all the dimensions here. Okay. Now this is what the complete sectional plan and elevation of a 3-phase core type transformer, along with all the necessary dimensions here which I have shown. Thank you. If you have any doubts, you can feel free to contact.